audience, Wilmets! And we are playing Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth, here at the Gatewater Theme Park. Chased out like a pair of peasants. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Kay.
There's something even thieves should never steal. Do you know what that is?
You really shouldn't steal anything. However, I'll bite. What shouldn't a thief steal? Is this some kind of riddle?
Life is too heavy of a burden on your soul to get away with ever. You can't steal a life. That means no killing.
It's a different crime. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill. Different. You need a different commandment for it. That's something we can agree on. Well said, Kay. No matter what we may try, murder is the one crime that can never truly be hidden. And I intend to prove that by my own hands, by slowly strangling you now. Everyone will know I did it, because they'll watch me do it. When I apprehend the murderer, when I apprehend the murderer myself.
All right, and I'm gonna work extra hard to be a good assistant. Let's go.
I still never said she could be my assistant. I'm just gonna drop the issue. The first thing we should do is locate the real scene of the murder. Mr. Edgeworth! Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth, the stadium! Hurry, sir! This is supposed to be hush-hush, but they found a witness at the stadium! A witness? Here, what do we tell you about leaving your assigned post? You're supposed to stand around and not do anything. You're supposed to be good at that. The jig is up. Mr. Edgeworth, remember that I'm always rooting for you, so go get him, sir. Okay, I was expecting to be dragged off again this time. Those detectives sure look like they'll join themselves. It's not all fun and games, Kay. Now then, let's head to the stadium and meet this witness. I guess we still get to wander around now. The stadium was kind of like a coliseum. I thought there was a witness here. It's gonna be the pink one, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't see anyone.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Long time no see! Haha!
You are Miss Emma Skye, correct? This girl is the younger sister of my former superior, Lana Skye. 2 years ago, we stood in the same courtroom together as witness and prosecutor. But I thought she'd gone to Europe to study forensics, and instead she's bought a weird hat.
I can't believe you remember me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Of course I do. How have you been? You look to be in good spirits. Are you still studying abroad?
You bet. More than anything, I want to investigate crime scenes scientifically. I've been studying nonstop every day to become a top-notch forensic scientist. But it's spring break now, so woo, spring break! So I thought I'd come back for a bit.
I see. Okay. Emma, are you the witness? I almost didn't recognize you. You've really grown in these past few years.
Please don't tease me, Mr. Edgeworth. I know I still have a long way to go. But I'm gonna be a super forensic scientist someday. You'll see. You seem to know Mr. Edgeworth really well. Are you two acquaintances? Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Emma Skye. Nice to meet you. I'm studying abroad now to be a forensic scientist. How about you? What are you studying to be? Wow, that's a great dream. My name's Kay Faraday, and I'm training to become an unstoppable great thief. Probably shouldn't have told you that just now. Kinda gives it away. A great thief?
Don't think too hard on it, Emma. It's not worth the trouble. I've tried. In any case, we have much to catch up on.
You bet we do.
How you been, Emma? What are you doing? So why are you here, Emma?
Well, I just happened to decide to come back home for spring break! Woo! And then I heard that you'd come back too, so I raced on over here. I really wanted to welcome you back at the airport, but I just missed you.
And how exactly did you know I was here?
Through the power of science, naturally. Never underestimate what science can do for you. Also, I was playing with my 3DS here, and they told me where you were. I used these to track your footprints, and I followed them straight to you. This head is the greatest. It's so wonderfully scientific. Ooh. You spray this chemical on the ground, and when you shine the special light on it, zing, the footprints light up like an electrified noble gas in a glass tube. It's almost like magic, scientifically speaking.
Forensic science has never seemed more ominous to me than at this very moment. You shouldn't be able to follow me around that easily. Emma, I'd like to ask you about what you witnessed.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Are you not the witness Detective Gumshoe told us about?
Well, I did get a call from Detective Gumshoe earlier. He was practically yelling at me. Mr. Edgewood needs your scientific doings right now, pal, he said.
What was that man thinking? Or rather not thinking.
So let me guess, there's been a murder, right?
Yes, unfortunately. There's a sudden glint in her eyes. Why does she like murder so much? But I need to keep my mind focused on the witness. Now, where did that person go? Alright, so we're not talking to you, Emma. If you're not the witness, then we don't care. I'm guessing that whoever they are, they're gonna be in this car. I assume this is another Badger-mobile. Yeah, but it's different color than the Blue Badger's car. Yes, this is the retina searing pink model. What's that off in the distance? Here it comes.
Oh, hey, it's the Pink Badger! Badger, get!
Let's take a picture! Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. Just what does she see in these silly things? Have you been arrested?
I think the Badger has something to say to you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Are you by chance the witness I've been searching for? Sorry, but I don't speak Badger dance. Okay. Hi.
I can't take beatings like that stuffy head anymore!
Huh! No. Why her? Why here? Why now? I first met this woman 3 years ago. She was a witness in one of my cases. She has since gone out of her way to pop up unexpectedly and cause me great grief.
Edgy Pooh! Why couldn't you understand what I was trying to tell you? I mean, really. I was trying so hard to keep the kids' dreams alive by staying in character. But you couldn't pick up on what I was trying to convey to you. I'm sick and tired of that roundabout way of talking, so I'm just gonna be direct.
I had a bad feeling before, but this just made it official. Today has gone beyond the typical, not my day, into the realm of waking nightmare.
So you're a friend of Mr. Edgewood too, Miss Pink Badger? You can say that, but right now I'm just the Pink Badger, dearie.
She may look the part, but I know better than to trust my eyes around this woman.
My name's Wendy Oldbag. But you can call me Wendy or Granny or whatever suits your fancy. Nice to meet you, Miss Oldbag. I'm Kate Faraday. What do I care about a young whippersnapper like you? Yeesh, I was just trying to be polite.
Are you the witness? Does that mean I have to talk to you? Weren't you a security guard at one of the Gatewater hotels the last time we met?
I go where I'm needed. I'm very good at what I do, unlike the youth of today. I get called in all the time to fill in when there aren't enough hands. But enough about me, Edgy Poo. I'm thoroughly dejected right now. I finally get the chance to see you again, and here you are, talking with two young girls. Men are all the same. It doesn't matter how old they get. With young girls, usually they happen to my other daughters me. When a guy gets married to a 16-year-old, when he sees a girl at all, they say the permission takes 3 years to...
You seem to track all sorts of interesting people, Mr. Edgeworth. Kay, please. I'm begging you. By all means, do not provoke her any further. I was not prepared for the auto-scrolling text, so I kind of missed large sections of that. What did you see? Aren't you forgetting about something, Mr. Edgeworth? This person could be the witness. Honestly, I hope she isn't, but I don't think fate is going to be so kind today.
I saw what happened! I even saw the exact moment it happened. How's that?
So it's true, she is the witness! I don't suppose I can afford to ignore the old bag.
Yes, it was just a little while ago. I saw it happen right in front of me. The moment of the murder.
You mean to say that you witnessed someone being killed right before your eyes? Sounds like a pretty important piece of testimony to me. What did you... Okay, alright, let's just get through this.
I came to the stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and I saw two men facing each other in that area. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot and the person who was shot fell to the ground. It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell you.
Looks like we hit the jackpot, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, I can't afford to ignore what she has to say. Unfortunately.
I said unfortunately, I checked on the end supposed to mean edgy poo.
Well, anyway, let's see what we can find out from this little old lady. Alright, time to spend as much time as possible slowly rebutting everything you have to say.
I came to the stadium to take a short break.
Hold it!
I'll give you a short break. You mean you took a break from being the Pink Badger?
You may not think it, but it's hard work keeping kids' dreams alive. You smell of sweat, your hip creaks with pain, you even begin to dream about work.
That's the kind of story that will scar a child for life, you know.
Well, that's why I chose to come take my break here, whippersnapper. I don't plan on playing the part of the dead badger in front of a bunch of kids.
So what did you see while you, the Pink Badger, were resting?
Oh, yes, that. Well, as I was resting, I happened to glance over and I saw two men facing each other in that area.
Hold it!
Yeah? Were they gonna smooch? You saw two men. Can you describe them for me? Were they handsome? Were they cute?
They looked like your average Joes, completely uninteresting and not worth fawning over. I'm telling you, they were so boring, I don't even remember much beyond that.
But do they have any special features? Anything you can recall would be very helpful.
Oh, my, don't tell me you're jealous of those two men.
Hey, she's right! You do seem pretty worked up over there, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not worked up over anyone, and I'm not jealous! Shut up!
It's alright, Edgy Boo. Those two were just foals compared to a stallion like you. I thought so little of them, that I lost interest the instant I laid eyes on them. Suddenly there was a loud gunshot and the person who was shot fell to the ground.
Hold it!
You're claiming to have seen the exact moment in which the murder took place.
Absolutely! That gun made a terrible racket when I was fired.
You didn't try to go help the person that got shot?
I'm only one person! You smart-alecky brat! What could I have done? Well, I took off as soon as I could to find someone who could help.
Two men, one bullet. It's all consistent with what we found out from the body. Sadly, there wasn't exactly a lot of new information to go on in your testimony.
Well, if I saw the guy again, I'm sure I could identify him for you. I mean, how do you expect me to remember anything without something to jog my memory?
Self-centered, aren't we? While it was somewhat useful, her testimony also presents us with a new problem. Mr. Edgeworth! Yes? So about this new problem. What is that giant grin on your face for? Do you want me to show you something really nice? No, thank you. Don't be so mean. I swear it's something you're gonna like. What is that gadget you're holding? What you see before you is the secret weapon of a great thief. I should have known it would be worthless. Oh, don't be like that. What do you think now? What is it doing? It's projecting something into the air? You have a holographic iPhone. Wow, great. We can play the Angry Birds. I'm gonna input that necessary information to run the simulation now. Once I'm done, I'll increase the size of the projection to its maximum size. Dark skies of evening when no other bird dare takes wing. One alone remains all-seeing. You casting a spell or something? Now witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. Oh, what is this? This is a recreation of the murder based on the info I inputted into Little Thief. That's what I call him. It's the name for my phone. Little Thief? I dare say I think you're taking the Robin Hood thing a little too far. Little Thief is actually meant to be a simulator for me to plan my thefts. But I suppose if I used it like this... Let's see, Miss Oldbag said the two men were facing each other, and then a gunshot rang out and the victim fell to the ground. So with this we can expect the crime scene as it was in the past. See, so what do you think? I have to say I'm impressed by the technology thieves have access to these days. Well, it is the super secret weapon of the mighty Yatagarasu. Indeed. Oh, but if there isn't enough information or something is out of place, the recreation could come out a little strange. In other words, I can use this to authenticate the validity of the witness's testimony. You got it! You better catch on quick, Mr. Edgeworth! Right now, this simulation is a recreation of that witness's testimony. So for now, I should re-examine everything. And if I find anything illogical or strange, I can then ask for clarification. Feel free to examine anything in the simulation in the way you always do. You can even present evidence when you find a contradiction. And if you find something, I got a little thief with me, so you just let me know, okay? Okay, so we're looking around a holographic crime scene. So he's on his face. According to the testimony, the victim fell to the ground here. That's right, but if that's the case, then we've already found our first contradiction. Huh? What? Where? If this is the real scene of the crime, there's something missing that should be here. Lots of blood. Which piece of evidence shows the missing item? Is there a... Let's see. Body was moved, shot from the abdomen through the shoulder. I'm guessing it's gonna have to be that. About the amount of blood that was there. Let's just present that, because it's the only thing I can see this close. This is the contradiction.
Eh? Is something wrong with my recreation?
If this is the real scene of the crime, something specific should be here. If you think back, how do we deduce that the other crime scene was not the real one?
Oh, I get what's missing now. There's no blood on the ground here either, right?
Right. The fact that there is no blood here casts doubt on the witness's testimony.
Edgy Blue, how can you doubt me like that?
Are you
calling me a liar? I know what I saw when I saw the victim get shot down. You know, I don't think she's lying, Mr. Edgeworth.
To be honest, I can't think of a reason why she would lie to me. In that case, maybe there is another explanation for the distinct lack of blood. Did someone clean the blood? How dare they? How dare they clean the blood? Can we do some luminol testing, Emma? Let's look at this guy. It's the silhouette of the killer with his gun at the ready. Okay, it's not possible to recreate the face of the killer. Well, I can't exactly input what we don't know into Little Thief. She has a point. Let's see. What do I have in my logic? What's at my disposal in the logic? Victim was the kidnapper. Why is there no blood? Is it because the blood's in the costume, maybe? Let's try combining the only two logic things that we have. Because we have was the victim in a costume? And why is there no blood? Maybe he was shot, but all the blood got in the costume. Yeah, okay, this is getting somewhere. It's not possible that the victim was wearing a Is it not possible that the victim was wearing a costume? So you really think that Mr. Deacon was one of the kidnappers? I think we can reasonably assume there is a very good chance that he was. And that if he was shot while he was inside one of those stolen costumes, then Mr. Deacon's blood would be inside the costume instead of on the ground. Precisely. Now, if only we could prove that the victim was wearing a costume. You'd think it'd be pretty easy if we could find some footprints. But the problem is finding them, since there doesn't seem to be any around. Footprints, huh? I wonder how we can go about finding some of those. If only someone had just recently found us and talked a long time about footprints. Oh well, doesn't seem to be anyone like that around. Emma!
This is amazing!
Yeah. Tell us about the foots! Emma, about that method you were talking about for finding footprints.
Finally, my expert knowledge in forensics is needed.
Yes, well, can you detect and trace even partial footprints?
Leave it to me. My cutting-edge detection kit can find anything.
Very well, if you could please analyze the footprints in this area.
Okay, stand back now and witness the power of science at work.
Did we just turn that off? Yeah, we did, okay. Emma, you're up!
Something. Look right there.
I don't see anything.
Oh, that's right. Here, put these special glasses on, Mr. Edgeworth.
These footprints here were definitely left by a badger costume.
Judging by the way the prints are layered, those seem to be the newest.
Then we can conclude that the victim was definitely wearing a costume at the time. Okay, alright. Victim's costume, but we don't have much information on it. Just that one exists. Okay, in that case, I'll update Little Thief's simulation parameters. I can't wait to see what we find out from this new info. Oh, in costume now. Oh, and we got some tasty health bag. So the victim was wearing a costume when he died. And with that, we should be one step closer to the truth, right? I see the recreation has changed in accordance with the new information. We may be closer, but now something else has caught my attention. We don't get to look around at that?
What do you want?
Your testimony, naturally. I'd like to hear it one more time, if you please. The costume is the evidence I'm going to present, because she said that there wasn't anything remarkable about either of them, but you would notice if someone was in a crazy badger costume.
Given this day, take a short break. As I was resting and happened to glance over, I saw two men facing each other in that area. Suddenly there was a loud gunshot and the person who was shot fell to the ground. It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell you.
So, does that mean that Miss Oldback's testimony has a contradiction in it? Yes, and I believe our best course of action is to compare it with your recreation. See, I just knew Little Thief would be a help. Now let's see if we can pull more info from Miss Oldback to put into the recreation. For that, we must first find the contradiction in her testimony. Contradiction. Alright, are these all going to be the same presses as before? I'm going to assume so.
As I glanced over, I saw two men facing each other in that area.
I'm going to press that again and see if she says the same thing.
Hold it!
You saw two men. Can you describe them for me?
Look, your average Joe's...
Okay, yes, it's the same dialogue. And she talks about how there weren't any special features about them whatsoever. So... I'm gonna go to that one. And we're gonna present the costume that we know he was wearing.
Objection!
Two men? How did you know the gender of the two people involved? Seeing as how the victim was wearing a costume at the time. Furthermore, I have another matter I'd like to inquire about. I'd very much like to know. why you failed to mention the costume in your testimony. I'm beginning to doubt if you really witnessed the murder at all.
But I'm telling you, I really did see it. I saw it with my very own eyes. From a seat in the second tier.
The second tier? Hey, didn't you say you saw it right in front of you earlier? That
Was, I was using the phrase in the metaphorical sense.
I see our witness still has a screw loose in the metaphorical sense. And maybe the literal sense.
The cushy seats in the second tier are reserved for hotshot VIPs, which is exactly why I go there now and again to take a nap.
I can't see how you could have gotten a good look from there. It's so high up. Were you able to see even the victim's costume from way up there?
Well, I know I saw two people, but I couldn't really see what they looked like because they were in the stage's shadow.
Okay.
My eyesight isn't what it used to be, Not like when I was young. People used to call me like Spider-Man from 150 paces. Of course, they also noticed me in a flash, tried to make their move easy. I was a careful girl.
Let's return to our investigation, shall we, Kay? You got it! Okay, so old bag is useless. Is all we really gained from that. Alright. This new silhouette of the victim is in a costume. The silhouettes can change depending on the information I input. But Little Thief can recreate more than just people. So investigate away. We may even find more info, which to make a more accurate sim. All right, sounds like a plan. All right, let's look at the footprints. That's the only other new thing. Can we not look at the footprints? Hello, footprints. Oh, logic. In the shadow. Oh, the shadow's over here. It looks like they broke the stage down. Huh. Okay, so that matters. I guess it means they're done for the day. Or maybe it's because a different show is scheduled to start its run tomorrow. Now we can logic combine the fact that the stage was packed up, so there shouldn't be much of a shadow. But she said they were in the shadow. What do you mean? If our own testimony is to be believed, the murder occurred before the stage was broken down. Do you want me to input that bit of info into the Little Thief? Yes, if you please. Okay. So I guess that gives us the timing a little bit. Whoa, creepy. Well, they couldn't have been standing right there. Although that might explain the gunshot, because if he was standing up on the stage and he shot down at somebody, that would mean it went in through the shoulder and out through the abdomen, rather than facing up the way it seemed initially. Let's go over to the silly thing. There's clearly a contradiction here! Please stop stealing my lines. Oh, come on, it wasn't that hard to see it coming, even for a layman like me. I suppose, in any case, it's not possible for the killer to have stood here in that way, because there was a very real stage set up in this spot at that time. Yeesh, I told you I got it. Do you feel the need to explain everything? It's pretty obvious. Yes, well, in any case, we still need to resolve this unusual situation. Isn't it obvious? The killer was on top of the stage, naturally. Right, Mr. O'Bag?
Yes, I remember now. The killer was standing on top of the stage.
See, now let me update the info in the simulation. Okay. Well, what if we hear a bunch of hooligans running amok, I see. Agent Lang, how nice of you to join us. Well, I can't have you going around messing up my crime scenes. Agent Lang, we've discovered that the real scene of the murder is here, in the stadium.
I see. Thanks.
For what?
I'm just trying to show you my appreciation for all the time you saved me. Who knew that such a strange little toy could recreate a crime scene like that?
The thief is not a toy!
You two. Sir!
What, did they just set the stage back up? That was fast. Hey, it's a Gaviner's logo! Gasp!
And there you have it. You see, big boys like me don't need silly toys, little girl. Now this is a recreation.
So what, do you still intend to assert that Officer Meekins is the killer?
Of course. Even knowing that the crime took place here doesn't let him off the hook.
Let's talk about it!
This is the real scene of the crime. Officer Meekins lay in wait for the victim on top of the stage. And when the victim finally showed, he shot him from on high. That's the truth your little recreation showed.
I mean, it showed somebody doing that. How far will you go to accuse Officer Meekins of the crime?
He's the most likely suspect we've got, especially given the situation with his gun.
Well, even if he is the killer, at least my recreation was on the mark.
You see, thank you for understanding, my little crow girl.
Girl, I'm not some common crow. I'm the Yatagarasu, the Raven of legend.
Unfortunately, your conclusion is yet to be tested, so let's see how well it holds up. Okay.
This is the real scene of the crime.
Hold it!
Yes. Looks like we found the real crime scene first.
Ha! Brag all you want, but we don't have all that free time, unlike the two of you.
You have 100 guys at your disposal. That's so many man hours.
Hey, you know what you remind me of? A dog licking his wound as he whip us home. Ha ha.
Well, I guess I should be thankful for all the time you saved me. Zai Zai. That's how we say thanks in my country.
I don't know how to say that word. You're welcome. I hope you realize that we didn't do all of this for him.
But I'm here now, so I'll be taking over. As I was saying, this is where the crime took place. Officer Meekins lay in wait for the victim on top of the stage.
Hold it!
Lying in wait, how did Officer Meekins even know the victim was going to come here?
Simple. He was investigating the kidnappers, right? And while he was doing so, he came to understand the victim, Mr. Deacon's movements.
Ha, and why would the good officer want to ambush and kill a kidnapper?
You mean his motive? Who knows and who cares? You can find that out for yourself when you talk to him in jail.
You have no respect for the order of law.
Don't get me wrong, but I need more than there's no motive to convince me otherwise.
He's right, the lack of a motive is a rather weak argument by itself.
So the officer lay in wait on top of the stage. And when the victim finally showed, he shot him from on high.
Hold it!
So you agree with how our recreation turned out?
Like I said, I'm grateful that you were able to save me some time.
Alright, but we still don't know why he chose to wait on the top of the stage.
Who cares? Maybe he wanted to become the Blue Badger. Who's to say he didn't see the stage and decide to put on a Badger stage show of his own?
Or maybe there's a completely different reason.
What does it matter? It still doesn't change the fact that Officer Meekins stood up on that stage and shot the victim on the ground below. That's the truth your little recreation showed.
Hold it!
So you honestly believe that what you're saying is what really occurred?
Hey, you're the ones who came up with this scenario. Are you saying you doubt yourselves?
Touché. Unfortunately, Agent Lang's conclusions do not contradict with our recreation.
Then does that mean it all went down just as he says?
No, not quite. I wonder if what we had recreated earlier was the whole truth. So, my guess, the victim showed he shot him from on high, and I think what we have, if we check this, The entry point was the lower right abdomen. The exit point was the right shoulder. So if the entry point is here and the exit point is here, then he couldn't have shot him from on high. He actually had to have shot him from below. So that means the person who died was on stage, and the person who got shot was below. So we're gonna present this.
Objection!
I'm terribly sorry, Agent Lang. I should have warned you that our recreation is incomplete. You cut in quite unexpectedly, after all.
What's that supposed to mean?
You said the victim was shot by the killer from up above, correct? I hate to break it to you, but that's not possible. Huh? Why not? Recall Mr. Deacon's body, specifically where the gunshot wounds were located. Actually, I didn't get that good of a look. Well then. The bullet entered Mr. Deacon in his abdominal region and exited his right shoulder. This is more consistent with an angle shot from beneath the victim. Then, yes, our recreation had the victim being shot at an angle from above. A clear contradiction!
You're discounting your own conclusions?
No, this one point is the only flaw. This was the mistaken parameter in our recreation. The killer and victim's locations. We gotta flip them. Yes, the locations of the killer and the victim were wrong.
I get it. I see what you're trying to say.
I believe the killer and the victim were standing opposite to what we initially thought. It was the victim who was on top of the stage as he was being shot by the killer. Brutal! If this is what happened, it would also explain the positioning of the gunshot wounds. But then what about the footprints? Since footprints don't lie, we can assume that the killer also wore a costume. Okay, I'll try using that data instead. 2 badgers. At a standoff. 2 badgers enter. 1 badger leaves. Judging by the fact that both the killer and the victim were wearing costumes, I'd say it was a killing between the 2 kidnappers. That would be the most natural conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Agent Lang?
Well done, Mr. Prosecutor. But that alone doesn't clear Officer Meekins of the crime.
More testimony. Very well, bring it on.
I ask that you take another good look at the tire marks over there. The 3 marks are indicative of the blue Badgermobile. That story Officer Meekins told about that shop on wheels getting stolen was just a lie. He drove the blue Badgermobile here and committed the murder. Then he used the car to move the body to the garage in the Wild Wild West area.
You believe he moved the body with the car?
That's right. It was Officer Meekins himself who pointed us to the way he did it.
The 3 tired tread marks are very telling, however. Is the blue Badgermobile the only thing capable of creating such a pattern? You could ride a unicycle 3 times. Just... No, not really.
I asked you to take another good look at the tire marks over there.
I mean, there's multiple cars. The tire marks?
Yes, the tire marks. The ones there behind the stage.
Okay, there was a spinning track thing.
They were hidden up until now by the various pieces of stage equipment. As for when they were made...
They must have been made after the rain had begun to fall, correct?
Yes, and probably around the same time as when the killer's footprints were made. The tires on that blue Badgermobile probably got pretty muddy because of that, but
They weren't muddy! Add that to your testimony.
I say it's the blue Badgermobile because, well, that's pretty obvious too. The 3 marks are indicative of the blue Badgermobile.
That's what we just added. Okay, yep. That's what we're gonna throw in his face, but we're gonna always be pressing and then cycle back. 3 tire marks. I have to agree that the blue Badgermobile has 3 tires.
Of course. The only thing this park that can make those marks is that roving shop.
Objection!
Are you forgetting that there are, in fact, 3 of them? You can't simply ignore the pink and the proto Badgermobiles, Agent Lang.
Not so fast!
Of course, I didn't say it couldn't be either of the other 2. But I see no reason to drag them into this just to complicate things. That story Officer Meekins told about that shop on wheels getting stolen was just a lie.
Hold it!
Of course, you have some sort of proof that it was all a lie, correct?
Of course not.
But that was blunt.
But suppose it is a lie, it would explain a lot of things. Like his movements, and his whereabouts, and how much I hate him. He drove the blue Badgermobile here and committed the murder.
Hold it!
I'm Joe all over the place with my Badgermobile. So you still claim that the tire marks belong to the blue Badgermobile?
He must have arrived on the scene after the ground had become wet with rain. Officer Meekins committed the murder. Then he used the car to move the body to the garage in the Wild Wild West area.
Hold it!
Besides the blue Badgermobile, there are other ways the body could have been moved.
Not so fast!
Recall what the Wild Wild West area looked like. Only the blue Badgermobile and Mr. Deacon's body were in the garage. I'd say that's proof.
I suppose if one were to look at that place, that would be the only logical conclusion. However, my experience tells me that the truth is usually not so easily found. Is there some sort of problem with Agent Lang's statement with regard to that scene? Looks like the only thing that cow was selling was death, not dreams. Only if what Agent Lang believes turns out to be true. The 3 tread marks are very telling, however. Is the blue Badgermobile the only thing capable of creating such a pattern? Okay, the 3 marks are indicative of the blue Badgermobile, but for that we are going to present the blue Badgermobile, which doesn't have any mud on its tires.
Objection!
Sorry, Agent Lang, but that's an impossible tale.
And why is that?
Those tire marks could not have been left by Officer Meekins' blue Badgermobile. One look at the car would have told you so. What proves that the blue Badgermobile had never been to this stadium? The tires are pristine! Take a good look at the tires. There's not a single dollop of mud to be found on it.
Yeah.
If this car had come to the backstage area and left those tire tracks, then the lack of mud on these tires stands out as very peculiar indeed.
Then how do you explain the tire tracks, genius?
Hey, I got it.
What about Miss Oldbag's pink Badgermobile?
Don't be ridiculous. I was sleeping the entire time in the second-tier seats.
Indeed, I believe we can rule her out as someone related to the crime. However, there is yet one more roving store, as I recall. Oh, you mean the Proto Badger? What does his car look like? That's right, there was one more parking space inside their garage. And it proves the existence of a Proto Badgermobile. Agent Lang, I suggest you find this Proto Badgermobile post-haste. Does the bad Badger not get a Badgermobile? There must still be some sort of incriminating evidence in it.
Hey, did you hear something?
Zombie?
Help me.
Are you alright?
Well, this is something. Looks like we found our kidnapping victim. Where were you all this time?
Wild West was kidnappers.
He was in the room next to the one I was held in.
Ran away using underground and got lost. The kidnappers.
What is it? I can't understand what you're trying to say.
The kidnappers escaped wearing costumes.
We figured that out already!
Did you see the faces of your kidnappers?
No, I didn't see the faces, but one was woman.
A woman?
Quite an important piece of testimony. Hey, what are you guys doing? Stop standing there and getting your cops on this already. I'll even let you guys have what the kid said just now. Consider it a gift.
You guys the Power Rangers over here? Huh, huh.
Now, are you gonna get out of my crime scene, or am I gonna have to get rough?
Like a dog. We get rough. Again.
You're nothing but a big bully. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go.
Oh, no, not you. You're a very important witness for my case. I'm not about to let you get away that easily.
Don't count on me to testify because I won't. Not for you. That's right. I won't either. You hear me, you young whippersnapper?
Hey, calm down. There's no need for all this hostility. I just want to take a statement from each of you. I'm not gonna rough either of you up. I give you my word. Come now, fair maidens. What do you say? Will you cooperate?
Fair maidens?
Oh, he is kind of turning into the judge, you're right. Whoops!
Why, you little rascal, you sure know the way into a woman's heart.
Plain Z says, the passage of time is but a fleeting moment, and a lady is young forever.
Trying to outdo my Edgy Poo with your fancy schmancy sayings. Oh. Let's get this over with so we're clear. I'm only interested in giving you my statement.
Sure, just as soon as Mr. Prosecutor leaves us be.
Mr. Edgeworth.
I guess we're leaving. Well, we're just outranked, I guess. There's only so much fighting we can do. Find out what happens next time when someone else gets the testimony and solves the case for us, and we get to just not worry about it. Great. Thanks. We solved the case, and we get to just leave. It's nice being the head prosecutor. We just don't have to finish anything. See you next time. Bye for now.